Hello, Wootey! Another warm welcome back to our Wootey blog highlights of the week. Some of you have clearly been busy this week with gardening, baking, exercising art projects, and of course your learning set by teachers. We hope you are continuing to enjoy engaging with the blog. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some of the highlights in week 2. We're seeing an increase in the number of people accessing TT Rockstars, which is great. As of today, you can see the leaderboard for each class. Shout out to the Paynes boys in Jaguars. If it weren't for you, Jaguars, which are currently at the bottom, would only have 150 points. So well done to both of you. As you can see, Panda class are currently in the lead there with 8,325. But it is all still to play for. The competition is ongoing and the deadline is the 6th of April. Let's see which class will win for this week. In other MASH news, Mrs. Healy has been uploading daily countdown challenges. Well done to Rosie in Year 6, who is currently in first place, Catherine in Year 4, who's second, and to Jessica P, who is in third place at the moment. Mr. Blake gave us a heads up for a live cartoon drawing session early on in the week, and you can see on the screen some of the results. Well done to Charlie in Year 5 with his excellent alien cartoon, and also well done to Lewis, Kayla, Mr. Blake and Mrs. Murphy for your drawings there of hot dogs. Lucas in Year 4 has submitted his work on Homer Simpson, and you can see on the right there we have an entry from Maddie and from Ollie for their Cresta Cowl Dragon competition. If you wish to enter or find out more information about this, do visit Mrs. Barton's blog post. Pictured here are some lovely birdhouses and feeders. You can also see a small mini beast house made by Harry in Year 5. You can see even more art here. On the left is an entry from Jessica D, and on the right you've got Simon and Oliver decorating their flower pots. Pictured here is Louis' diorama of an underwater world, and you can see Theo's dinosaur there as well. Well done boys, the creativity is ace. Finley has also got into the artistic spirit this week and has created his own Under the Sea artwork plate. Pictured on the right is Madison and Caelan's outdoor den. I love the attention to detail with even a letterbox put on the makeshift door. Some even more examples of art on your screen now. Jess in Year 4 has continued her artwork from school, creating her very own pop art. And finally in the art section, you can see some rather snazzy bookmarks made by Catherine. You can also see Josh's artwork, although he is lucky to even get a mention, seeing as it is based on the worst Premiership football team, Arsenal. We love a good old challenge here on the Wootey blog, and this week there has been a whole array of tasks to complete. Last week, Finley set a challenge to see how many keepy-ups you can do with a tennis ball. We've had loads of entries submitting from 7 all the way to 501. I have to admit, I thought I was on track to win with 470, but Mr. Blake snuck in with a late win of 501. So very well done to Mr. Blake, and thank you to Finley for setting the challenge. You may also have seen Mrs. Manston and I seeing how many times we could pass a rugby ball in just 60 seconds. This was based on Josh's challenge. Initially we beat his 61, but he has now scored 100, which we just can't beat. If you feel you can beat that score at home, let us know on the blog. A slight variation to Josh's challenge is a 3-way pass. The current record is 71. See how you get on. And finally, pictured on the left is the Lego Tower Challenge submitted by Caitlin and Madison. Can you beat a self-supporting tower of 100 cubes? Let us know on the blog next week. On to sport. It's been great to hear that so many of you are keeping up with Joe Wicks. I don't know about you lot, but I'm finding the workouts harder as each day progresses. Today was particularly challenging. Pictured here is Dennis with his brother after completing their workout. You can also see Daniel continuing his taekwondo with his sister Rebecca. Mrs. Murphy posted on the blog earlier this week about wildlife yoga. I know Mrs. Todd is keen to give it a go. Do post comments on her post to let her know how you get on with this. One of my favourite finds this week is a fitness Monopoly game. You can play on your own or with a group. I know it's hard to see on the screen for you now, but if you would like a copy, let me know and I will email one out to you. Moving away from sport, I wanted to share with you Jacob's short story. He's called it The Delivery. As the man walked up to the door, I thought about what lay behind his ordinary exterior. His terribly normal face, his painfully normal shoes, his undoubtedly normal clothes, and his incredibly unremarkable eyes. With no discerning features, he was visually forgettable. Through this man's lack of frightening features, the fear that rooted in my gut seemed unfounded. I ducked down behind the sofa. Terror tingled across my skin as I slowly looked out from my hiding place. The man looked through the window, making direct eye contact with me. My heart lurched as my eyes skipped to the large, misshapen bag he held in his hands. Who is this man? Is he a spy, a thief, or even worse, from HMRC? Want to hear how the story ends? Visit the blog and look at Mr. Wallace's creative story post. Well done, Jacob, a great short story there. We have had so many requests to do a pet section on the blog, and the lovely Ms. Vinton posted a video with some of her poodles. If you've not seen it yet, go find her post, which has the link. Kicking off with the pets is Riley in Year 3 with his beautiful dog. On the top right is the lovely Charlie in Year 3 with his dog as well. Pictured at the bottom is Tyrone the tortoise, who loves his green foods. Bottom middle is Olivia's cat called Oreo, and the bottom right is Mrs. Murphy's kitten called Zora the Explorer. Here you can see Daniel with his dog Jasper and Antonia with her cat. On the bottom left is Tegan and Sienna's beautiful dog Rebel. He does look a little bit mischievous as well. The hamster belongs to Abby in Year 4 and is called Dottie. The two grey cats are Izzy and Jessie. Riley in Year 4 says they often like to play fight in the garden. And of course, the most photographs submitted this week for pets has been from Mr. Blake with his cat called Albus. He is adorable though. Mrs. Cannell was set a variety of challenges to do with the Vikings. You can see some of the Viking longships pictured here. Do visit her blog to take part, particularly those of you in Year 4. Mrs. Barton will be delighted to hear the amount of science learning going on at home this week. Year 4 have been submitting work on circuits, whilst Year 3 have been sending in examples of their food chains. You can see Daniel working on his astronomy badge for cubs, and Hayden planting his sunflower seeds. A shout out to Millie, who has been investigating friction with different shoes at home. Fabulous work there, Millie. Here we can see Luca after building his circuit, and Oliver with his classification tree. Great work, boys. It's been great to see how hands-on some of you have been, helping with gardening, landscaping and decorating. Lucas, now we know you can use a digger, we have plans for you to help Mr. Drake with the landscaping in the summer holidays. Pictured here is Daniel supporting with the gardening, whilst Harvey here has been learning how to fill holes, sand them down and then paint. Once things go back to normal, Harvey, you can come do my kitchen. Baking has been another incredibly popular activity with many of you. Keep the photographs and recipes coming. You can see Olivia making naan bread, Sophie croissants and Caitlin biscuits. Fabulous baking from Christian and Harry. Even more from Harv and Madison. And then pictured here you can see Chloe's biscuits, Catherine's croissants, a fudge brownie cake from Mrs. Healy, and Daddy's cake. Shout out to Finn T, who has been making bread at home, Eloise, who has been baking muffins, and Riley J in Year 5, who has made a carrot cake. On the left you can see cakes from Lou and Theo. Keep the photographs coming of baking as the weeks go on. Thank you to Lois, who has submitted her recipe for banana loaf. I would definitely be trying this. Now, Mrs. Barton, Mrs. Carter and Mr. Wallace have been sharing their favourite collective nouns. Remember, a collective noun is what we call a group of something. I never knew a collective noun for a group of elephants is a memory. We also have here an ostentation of peacocks, a bloat of hippos, a flamboyance of flamingos, an embarrassment of pandas, a conspiracy of lemurs, a dazzle of zebras, and a pandemonium of parrots. Have a research and let us know if you find any other cool collective nouns. You can see on the screen now some more examples of home learning here. I know Archie in Year 5 is really proud of his science poster. Now, in Rhino class, we take poetry really seriously. So it's great to see some examples have been uploaded to the blog. On the left is Liam's spring poem, and on the right is Louis' acrostic poem on the current pandemic. Great work, boys. Really great work. And finally, Maddie has created a wish jar. Every time she wants to do something, but can't at the moment due to the virus, she writes down and puts it into her jar. That way, when this is over, and it will be over at some point, she can go back and do all her wishes. What a lovely idea, Maddie. Right, well that brings us towards the end of the highlights for week 2. Please do continue to engage with the blog. I am lifting the post restrictions for over the Easter holidays, which means everyone can go back to creating their own posts. This will just be for the 2-week Easter holidays. If you're in contact with friends from school who are not using the blog, tell them to get on. It's a great way for the school community to still come together. I will leave you with a few final photographs of rainbows which have been submitted. Now, don't forget to check out Mr. O'Brien's Celebration Assembly video, which will be published tomorrow. Until next time, take care, keep smiling, and we will see you all soon.